I am excited today to share a little bit more about connecting the dots between social media and your messages so that there is a really successful bond and an authentic way for you to lead into sharing about Plexus and actually have that lead not feel spammy and begin your journey with them on a successful sale. That's what we are all after so that we can help people to become as healthy as possible and to understand this opportunity can be done by anyone. So social and messaging are hand in hand. You cannot do one without the other and have really good success because you need the social posts to build belief in people that you are then messaging. It does that in two ways. If you're effectively sharing on social, number one, they're going to as you're liking and commenting other people's posts, your algorithms are going to go up. They're going to be the people that see your social media posts, and that's going to have a positive impact in their mind. People need to see things over and over and over for them to fall in love, for them to have curiosity, and for them to want to learn more about a product or an idea or service or whatever they're seeing the majority of. This is why, however many decades later, Pepsi and Coke continue to advertise because they need new audiences and they want their old audience to continue to be reminded of why they're coming back to that particular brand. We're doing the same thing on social media using our stories and our messaging. I mentioned a bit ago that your likes and comments are going to impact who is seeing those messages, right? So the first thing you want to do is make sure you're spending about 15 minutes a day liking and commenting on other people's posts. So sorry, had a little bit of a glitch on my internet. One of them will be about Plexus in a way that is authentic to you. You always want to be sharing more from your heart. How would you approach somebody when talking about Plexus? If you look at other people are posting and you just copy and paste, it's recognizable that those are not your authentic words. If you're sharing a testimonial, that's great, but be sure to add in your thoughts on that. How does that testimonial connect to you specifically? If it's a stay-at-home mom, you can say, oh my gosh, I can relate to this so much. If you're a stay-at-home mom, I needed the energy and I definitely wanted the income, and having purpose outside of my home was also important to me, just like it was to this mom. And what she is experiencing in Plexus is what me and so many other moms are experiencing too. If you're interested in learning more, please let me know. For now, check out her testimonial. Stuff like that really makes people connect to you personally versus just trying to show them a story and there is no emotional connection. Okay, so that's really important. Your stories, the one thing I will say about this is make sure you go live. Do not hesitate to share about anything. I have seen people, I have a good friend of mine actually, and she does an amazing job and she has an incredible following. Just by going on live, she actually oftentimes looks a hot mess and sharing about what she loves in food products. She'll also share just random things, falling down the stairs at home or going to a hair appointment that was scheduled for the next day. And then she'll like roll her eyes and just be sharing this experience. That's not me. I'm never going to like get into the simplicities of life and talk about that. She'll go on live and just chew food and people watch her. Like it's really incredible. But I have to find my own voice. And the things that are passionate to me are the things I want to share live. And somebody is going to find that interesting. And somebody is going to find you interesting based on what your passions and interests are. But you have to open up and share that. And live videos are huge. People watch those and they increase your algorithm. And in other words, they're the amount that other people can find you more by your lives than any other posting that you will do. And of course, what you want to add in there is at least once a week, putting in a live about your drinks. How do you make your pink drinks? What has your pink drink done for you? Maybe a particular ingredient that's in the pink drink that you really appreciate or you think that the world should know about. It can be any of your other products as well. So just a couple of mentions about that Facebook and or social. This can be done on IG as well. TikTok, whatever your favorite social is. But this is definitely an important aspect. One cannot work without the other to give you the best success. So next I want to talk about how can we leverage the liking and the comments on our social pages to progress into a private message that will actually be authentic and lead naturally into your ability to share Plexus. Secondly, I want to talk about, if we're talking to lots of people every day, how do we stay organized with this so that we don't let people fall through the cracks? When we let people fall through the cracks, we're also letting our efforts fall through the cracks, right? We're liking and commenting for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, and there's no actual connection to a direct message. Then that's kind of important because you're going to increase your algorithms. But the most important part of it is actually having a direct connection so that you can say specifically, I want to invite you to learn more about Plexus. You're never going to do that on a like or a comment. So what you need to do is first do the likes and comments, right? And to connect with people based on what's going on with their life. And when you're making comments, I want you to think about more than congratulations, happy birthday, have a great day. It's actually like, how do you feel about that piece of news in their life that you can maybe add value to, or you can extrapolate on? So if they have a baby, congratulations. She is just beautiful. Motherhood is amazing. My babies are now grown, but I miss that stage so much. That is going to connect with them way more than congrats. 50 other people are saying congrats. You're not going to stand out, and it's not really creating a specific connection. Now, this might sound like, oh gosh, there's an agenda behind commenting on people's stuff, and that's kind of crazy. This is no different than if you transformed social media to going to the park and meeting up with a brand new mama. What are you going to say to that mama? Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. I remember when my babies were that little. I miss it so much. You're going to say the same thing. So this truly is authentic. And many of us as mamas go to the park and want to meet other mamas. We are truly trying to create other relationships and have meaningful conversations. We're just now in a world where these things take place on a social media platform. So that's what we're doing here. And eventually, yes, we do want to open up the eyes of those people. We would do this the same if we met them at the park or we're meeting them on a social media platform. We want to open them up to the idea of something that is really going to help benefit their life in a huge way. So that's what we're doing on social media. So be more intentional when you're actually commenting. It's not how fast can you get through this, it's how much can I connect with those people. So I'm going to do a screen share to show you what the process of connecting to individuals on your team, on your newsfeed looks like, and how you keep track of that, and then genuinely and authentically transform it into a private message that will open up the conversation for Plexus. So let me do, oh goodness, hopefully I can do a screen share here. I should have done this in Zoom, shouldn't have I? Hold on one second. Okay, my mistake. Should have done this in Zoom. I'm going to drop a screenshot of this along with this video so that you can see what I'm talking about, but I can walk you through it anyway. So what you want to do is create a document. The one that I have created is in Excel spreadsheet, okay? And you're going to, on the left-hand side, create a list of names of the people that you're commenting and not so much liking, but the actual comments. Create a list of those names. On the top side of your Excel spreadsheet or your notebook, whatever you want to do, is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4, right? And each of these weeks, you're going to be noting what it is specifically you're commenting on. The first week, you might say to somebody, Oh my goodness. Congratulations on your baby. That is so sweet. I bet you are so excited, probably feeling a little bit tired, but hang in there, mama, right? Something wonderful. The next week, she's sharing about how she's getting a spring walk in her day and how excited she is for spring, right? Great idea. I am loving this weather as well. And all of that good exercise and sunshine is going to make you feel so much better in these early days of motherhood that could leave you a little bit dreary and energy sucked or what have you, something to that effect, right? So now you've got week 2 in, you've documented under week 2. So names over here, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 at the top. Week 2, you've documented that for that individual. Week 3, same concept. Let's say she's talking about grabbing lunch with friends. That looks so much fun. I would love to try that restaurant. Looks amazing. Where are you at? Anything. You can talk about anything, right? I'm such a foodie. I love good restaurants. Are you loving your meal? What rating do you give it? Where are you at? I mean, there's a million things that you can say to somebody who's grabbing lunch with friends. I'm glad to see you getting out, right? Because mamas don't get out very often. Week 4, you can private message her. Wow, it looks like a few weeks of your motherhood are going so beautifully. You're doing all the right things. It's so important to take care of you as a mama. Your babies need you to be in the best place possible, to have energy and to feel good. Mood is so important. How are you doing? How have these first few weeks been? You're opening up an engaging conversation. Okay. You're not going, just so you know, I do gut health and these products are totally going to help you as a new mama. You should check this out. That is going to happen, but not in the beginning. You first just want to open up that conversation based on the comments you've been making the last 3 weeks, getting to know what is going on in their life and connecting to them in that same manner. Now, as you talk back and forth in the DM, of course, you can say, I remember when I was at this stage and I could not get enough energy. It was crazy how little my guys slept at night. And it's so important. I now, years later, have been introduced to an incredible gut health product. It's done wonderful things for me. Would you be open to me sharing a little bit about these products with you? Because as a young mom, more than ever, they can really help you. It's that easy. But do you see how you have to use both methods? They are intertwined. The social media part is intertwined with the messaging. And if you use it correctly, DMing somebody, it's just a natural segue and it's very authentic and it leads into the conversation about Plexus without it being spammy or uncomfortable. Okay. So from now on, I hope everybody is staying organized. This is the point of sharing all of this. I really want to make this as simple as possible because that way you know exactly where your business is going. When you are this organized, when you can see who you've talked to, when you can identify which weeks you've said what, maybe you forgot about somebody for one of the weeks, right? You can go back and, I got to touch base with her again. And you can keep track of those people. The same thing goes for when you're coaching your team. If you're talking to somebody who's maybe just getting introduced to this pattern, this is a great way for you to be able to recognize where they're going well in their business and where they might be floundering, which might be leading to why they're not signing as much. You can go right through that list and say, oh, it looks like you haven't talked to this person, or there's a group of people of 10 people in like 2 weeks. What we want to do is button that up and make this a weekly process of getting to know people so we can segue into these conversations. And you've got it all in black and white. Nothing is up for guesswork at this point. It is a methodical means of producing success in your business. And I had one more thing to say. Now it left me. I will come back to it. I'm sure I can leave a note somewhere. All right, you guys. So that about does it for today. I helps you tremendously. I think that if you follow this religiously, you will have no issue growing your business. And there you have it. It came back to mind. I love being 49. Over the course of time, you will start to see a flow of people joining your business. So this is the last point I want to make, is that some people will be like, hey, I'm messaging people and I'm getting nowhere. And they'll be in maybe their first couple of weeks of doing the business or trying these messages. Okay, this is something where in 4 or 5 weeks, the first person that you messaged 4 to 5 weeks ago is finally responding to a yes, I'll take a sample box. And if you've been methodical the whole time, then the next week you're going to get a yes from somebody that you were talking to maybe 4 weeks before that. And then the next week it's just going to flow in. You're creating a continuous stream of people coming into your Plexus network, I guess you could call it that. But you have to think about this in terms of like, you have to give it that time to marinate, the relationships to marinate, and then you will have the steady stream. And also remember that the same goes the other way. If you take off and you lack your consistency, it's going to make the business that much more frustrating, because in order to get back into the game, you've now got an extended 4 or 5 weeks out before you might get a yes. In some cases, maybe those will come faster, but not always. So just keep that in mind as well. All right. Now I gave myself